Hello everyone, Nyonstar here, and Gravity Falls is one of my favorite shows of all time. I've been a fan since I was 10, and I've been hyperfixated on it for over a year now. That doesn't usually happen. My hyperfixations usually only last for a few months max. Since yesterday was August 31st, aka Mabel and Dipper's and Miku's birthday, I thought I'd talk about my history as a Gravity Falls fan. Also, spoiler warning. In late 2014, my parents got cable again, as well as an internet connection and a laptop. My sister and I would scroll through the cartoon channels, and one day we caught the end credits of Fight Fighters. Since my sister had heard good things about Gravity Falls, we ended up watching the next episode, Little Dipper, as our first episode. And while it was a bit confusing as a first episode, we loved it. We ended up binge-watching the rest of the show, and watched Susan the Real Girl as it aired. We would watch every episode after that as it aired up to Not What He Seems, which not only aired near my 11th birthday, but was an insane episode to catch live. My sister had shown me the Stan has a twin theories back when Society of the Blind Eye aired, so when we saw Ford for the first time, we both screamed. I was literally on the floor. After that, we lost our cable and had to watch the rest of the series online. Except for the finale, that is. Yeah, the first episode of Weirdmageddon was playing on the TV while I was at a sleepover, and when I told my sister I watched it, she watched the rest of Weirdmageddon without me, and then I had to watch the finale alone. I've rewatched the series a bunch of times, but after the Book of Bill released, my sister and I rewatched it together, and we got to watch Weirdmageddon over Christmas. I already talked about this in my childhood crushes video, but I did have a few crushes on Gravity Falls characters. The first was Bill Cipher, because I'm not immune to propaganda. I did initially crush on the human Bill that was popular at the time, but nowadays I prefer the triangle. What, is this not a safe space? After Bill, I immediately loved Giffany after I saw her episode. I would draw her constantly and draw hearts on my cheeks every day. Love a woman that will actually just kill me. I also had a bit of a crush on Mabel, and I had a crush on Dipper for maybe like 30 minutes. Actually, it might have been closer to 15. I was watching Dipper vs. Manliness one day, and by the end I thought, you know, he is kinda cute. But then I was like, no, what am I thinking? And stopped. But yeah, like I said in the crushes video, Dipper and Mabel are the kind of people I would have crushed on in real life. I only have a crush on Bill and Giffany in fake life. Well, actually, I might let them ruin my life. My life's already falling apart, at least Bill would ruin my life in a fun and fruity way. Now on to some merch. I got these two books, Pining Away and Once Upon a Swine, but I don't remember how. I think it was at a book fair, but they also might have just spawned into my room. My parents got me Dipper's and Mabel's Guide to Mystery and Nonstop Fun, and I loved this book. I would read it constantly, because it felt like the characters were talking to me. Me! My best friend in middle school gave me 3 of the Gravity Falls subway bags, because they weren't into Gravity Falls and I was the only person they knew who was. In high school, my dad bought me the complete series box set when it came out, and a Waddles Funko Pop. A year before the Book of Bill, when we were moving into our current apartment, I got hyperfixated again. I dug through all our boxes just so I could watch the box set and read the guide again. Once our internet was set up, I convinced my dad to buy me Curse of the Time Pirate's Treasure. I would sit in bed reading the book and writing out my own flowchart. I only did 2 of the routes though, so I would have more content whenever I needed it. The next year, my sister was visiting over the summer. We planned to go to a used bookstore, and I was hoping to find a copy of Journal 3. I initially refused to get Journal 3 because I wanted to get the special Blacklight edition. My dad even pointed out some copies at the mall, and I said no, because I wanted the special ones. Then I went home and looked at the resale prices and regretted everything. Since the Book of Bill was a month away, I started fixating again, and I really wanted to get more books. So when we got to the bookstore, Dee took me over to the kids' book section, and we searched for any Gravity Falls books. Just as I was giving up hope, I saw an unlabeled journal on the top shelf. I stood on my tiptoes and just managed to get it down. It was missing the dust jacket, but honestly that made the whole experience more authentic. It also has "Don't show this to anyone" written on the inside in pencil, which I just found funny. But it really did feel special, just stumbling upon an unmarked book on the highest shelf. I'll always treasure it. The moment the Book of Bill was announced, I immediately started hounding my sister to pre-order the Barnes & Noble edition. Since it came out in July, we agreed that if she got it, it would be a Christmas present. So from the day the pre-orders went up until Christmas Day, I did not stop reminding her that I wanted it. Turns out I didn't need to, since she pre-ordered it. I also got a copy of Lost Legends from my dad. And it was funny, I had Lost Legends on top of the Book of Bill, so when I turned it around and saw the bill on the back cover, I was just like, oh my god, it infects other books. I did feel a bit bad for being so annoying over the Book of Bill, but, I'm writing this right after the limited edition was announced, and I'm immediately back on my bullshit. Sorry, D. As of the time I'm writing this, the last book I got was the coloring book. I had been hunting for a copy for a while, so when they announced the reprint, I was so excited. I got my dad to pre-order one, and I got it on my sister's birthday. I was very happy with it. At least until I heard that it was a lower quality than the original. I was trying to just be happy with what I had. I really tried. But I got in my own head about how the original would be extremely expensive, and I needed to find one. After searching far and wide, I found a copy on Abe Books that was shipped locally. I don't have a ton of money myself, and I'm saving that money in case of emergencies. However, I did promise that I'd spend some if I ever found the coloring book for sale, since before the re-release, I never found a single listing. So I decided to bite the bullet and buy one. I got extremely ill afterwards, like I was bedbound for 2 weeks. My book got delivered during this time, which was a real ray of sunshine for me. While I do feel a bit bad for spending my money, it made me happy, so it was worth it. I do want more merch in the future. I want to get the Summerween book. I'll search for the older print first and maybe get the new one later. I want the glow-in-the-dark Book of Bill so badly, and I wouldn't mind getting the standard one in the future. I want the Barnes & Noble edition of Lost Legends, and obviously I'd love to get my hands on a Blacklight Journal 3. If I ever get super rich, this is the first fun thing I'm buying. If I ever found a cheap copy of the Mad Libs, I wouldn't mind picking it up, though I'm never getting Tales of the Strange and Unexplained. I heard that they started printing versions without the play bar, and frankly that makes me want it even less. I didn't even think that was possible. I'm not really interested in the Cinestory books, but I'm not opposed to them. I do kinda want the rare Weirdmageddon one though. Moving away from books, I wouldn't mind getting the rest of the Subway bags, the original DVDs, and a copy of the 3DS game. I want the vinyl, though I am looking for a reasonably priced one. My dad has a collection of over 2,000 records, so these prices don't even surprise me. I'd love to have more stuff with Gravity Falls on it. Toys, shirts, stickers. I really wanted to get one of those mystery twin mystery bags that donated money to support Palestine, but none of us had any money. Anyway, I'll put an update here if I get anything else before this goes up. Okay, so I did get some more stuff. I was able to find a cheap copy of the Weirdmageddon Cinestory for less than $10. At the same time, I sent my dad the link to buy the original Summerween book, but he ended up buying the 2025 edition. I got the original the next month, though I panicked at first since the font on the cover was the same, but the ISBN numbers are different, and one is way more desaturated. My sister cryptically confirmed that she got the limited Book of Bill. Also, they announced a new vinyl that ended its pre-order the day before my dad got his paycheck, so I haven't been able to get it yet. A collection of the 7 main Cinestory books was put up for pre-order, with some of these books being printed in English for the first time, but it was only available in Australia and New Zealand. And in the time between making this video and now, I caught up with Deltarune and it just destroyed my Gravity Falls hyperfixation. Kinda kicked Bill right out of my brain. Ever since the Book of Bill came out, I've been fully obsessed with Gravity Falls. I've briefly shifted focus to other things, but Bill Cipher himself keeps dragging me back in. I even came up with this OC that I've been writing about and drawing non-stop, but I've been too embarrassed to share anything about her. I know cringe culture is dead and my sister keeps telling me to post about her, but I just can't do it.
Yes, I finally realized that I can't do it! I can't do it, Mr. Krabs! I'm a failure!
Gravity Falls means so much to me. It may have ended when I was 12, but it's been a persistent comfort in my life. I mean, I spent my Thanksgiving watching a documentary about the Cipher Hunt. Go watch these, by the way. I don't even want another season. I love the show as it is. As a kid, I fell for every fake Season 3 announcement. Now I get annoyed anytime anyone asks for one. It's not gonna happen. Regardless, thank you for watching. Stay weird, everyone. Bye!